And we're live, or I'm live. Just one weeb. Just one out of the two. I'm here and waiting for Shah. We're gonna start soon. Should be right back. How are you guys doing? How you guys, how's your week been? And let me know, does my audio sound okay? I'm trying to, like, get the mic out of the, like, from the way of the screen, but I don't want it to be, too far. Okay. Are you guys excited to talk about the Crunchyroll Awards? How that kind of went down this week? That's were you pleased with the results? The Mugen Train Awards. Was it though? Like, I saw through the awards. I don't. Did it win that many? I thought it only won like one or two, or just one really, because of the best film category. I don't know how it beat Ava out, but then again, at the same time, I kind of do know how it beat Ava out actually. Oh, all right. Well, I'm not surprised that it did win so many. Let me look through the winners real quick again. Crunchyroll 2022 winners. Yeah, today is Gustavo in the chat. Today's way earlier than usual because right before we scheduled, Shaw had pointed out to me that it's Super Bowl weekend, and I was like, oh, I totally did not realize. So we figured, I don't know, most people wanted to go watch the Super Bowl. I know she is. So we were like, let's just do it earlier, make it easier for people in case you have plans or Super Bowl parties to go to host. I'm looking at these awards right now. Meet the winners of this year's anime awards. And Shaw's here.
Hey guys.
Hey Shaw.
So did you go over, I guess, like Super Bowl tonight?
Yes, just did that.
Did you say who you're rooting for?
I did not. I just said I just realized it was the Super Bowl this weekend, so I guess that's very telling in and of itself.
I actually kind of follow football, so I should have definitely put two and two together.
Well, I did mention that you'll be watching that later too, so.
Yeah. Hey Gustavo, what is up? Yeah, so I'm rooting for the Bengals. They're a good underdog team to root for. But even if the Rams win, I like Matt Stafford. He was on the Detroit Lions for a while, so he was held hostage to Detroit luck. So no real bad guys in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I tried keeping up with football at one point in my life, but I just couldn't commit. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean,
I tried a few times actually, and then I was like, nah, I can't do the week-to-week thing. Sorry. I can do the shows up for the Super Bowl, picks a team, roots for them, eats the food, and then more or less follows the game.
Which is pretty fun. I think most people do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my fiance is super into it. He's kind of like a weeb for sports. Not just a fan, but a full-on weeb for sports. Sports taku. I'll call it that.
I get that.
So I think his kind of love for it was kind of contagious. So then I picked it up, but I also won. It's sorry to flex. This is the only time I can flex about.
Oh, go ahead, flex.
Related is I won the replay value fantasy football league with possibly the most average team of all time.
That's a pretty big flex.
It was miraculous.
Was that your first fantasy football time doing it, or have you done it before?
No, I've done it before, and the only other time I won was also with a group of weebs. So it's really funny how that keeps happening.
You're flexing on those weebs.
The weebs help They are the winds beneath my wings. That's it. Wind beneath my wings.
You know why your camera might be doing that now? I just realized you might still have the green screen thing on.
Oh my gosh, that's
so it's trying to pick up the green screen.
I kind of like does.
And actually, I faintly see now the awards show background. Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wait, how did I not figure that out? I'm so
It's okay.
dumb. Oh look, I still have it.
You can still put it. It's just easier when you have the actual green screen. So it'll look shaky, but you know
what's funny? I could just do this. I don't have a green screen up. Should I keep this up or is this bad?
If you want to.
That's kind of funny,
it'll just be shaky, but you know, it can mostly pick it up. So if you're cool with that.
Anyone in chat vote screen or no awards background?
I almost did it too, but I had like this, which was too good to pass up. You know, it's like.
That's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, I did that once for like a video, and I was like, oh yeah, I should just put that up.
I put up like a random anime fight. Because I was like, do I abuse our green screen and just put up random backgrounds? Like
Award show cinematic universe. I'm looking at the winners because they were mentioning in chat it was Mugen Train Awards. Oh yeah, they did win Best Animation.
Did you not see any of this? Yeah. So
no, I did, but I just didn't recall Mugen Train winning so much. But you know what? I was making a distinction between the TV series version and the movie version, but I guess it amounts to the same thing.
Did you see the TV series version? Because I heard someone say that like the pacing worked out better.
Yeah, I heard that. I watched one episode of it. I'm like, okay, I can see how this is gonna add a little more. And then I was like, I don't have patience, so I just didn't watch the rest.
I think catching up to Demon Slayer will be my new gym anime. So like just watching it while on the treadmill at the gym. And I started the new season because I was like, I'm not gonna rewatch Mugen Train. I'm sorry.
I mean, I am caught up. I just skipped the Mugen Train arc.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll do no background. Lame background me, but
do whatever you want, Shaw.
Well, I was like, if I was really good, I would pull up the Evangelion Blu-rays that came in honor of your birthday.
You should.
I should.
I don't know why you're not. I mean, like, I won't start the stream until you do. You just.
Yeah, I should do that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna catch up on the new Demon Slayer season that I think is like pretty much over by this point. But whatever.
Yeah, no, it's been on point. It's almost done, so it's a good time to catch up. I'm gonna probably be watching it later today.
Do you like this one more than the previous seasons?
I mean, it's been fun. Kind of, you know, the action and animation's definitely on point. So yeah, I don't know. It's been fun. That's all I'll say. I don't know if it's like better. No, like I don't know if it's better. I think it's like mostly like I still feel the same about it. Like it's still, you know, but that's not bad, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's I look forward to it. So.
Yeah. Cool. I will enjoy it at the gym.
Yeah,
last gym anime was Tokyo Revengers, so it can't be worse than that.
Amethyst says this season has Sawashiro, so it's better.
Oh, she's the main antagonist of this one. That's kind of baller.
There you go.
Okay.
Actually, she's been fun, so.
But anyway.
Guys, how's the background music? Detracting? Good? Sets the vibe? Let us know.
So I guess getting back to awards and how we're gonna end them for the year. But so I did feel like it was a weird mixture of like this year's Crunchyroll Award winners were a weird mix of like Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, and Attack on Titan.
Wait, are we starting?
I didn't know if we were starting. You were talking about the awards, so I didn't know if we were starting.
No, I'm so sorry. You know what? I should have put the pre-show banner up. But it's all good. Let's start now.
We can get hit by a truck and start.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I really like the intro from last week, and I'm just gonna play it again. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm gonna play it again. Here we go. It's actually fitting considering the way it starts and the topic. So. Mm-hmm. and welcome to Just Weebs. It is not the Weebies, but, I had to play that intro again. I'm Onimaru, and I'm here with Shocking.
Heyo.
And today, you might be thinking, like, isn't awards season over? Why are they still talking about awards? Well, not just yet, because Crunchyroll this week just released their awards show, or just the announcement of the winners, which, I actually mentioned it to Shah beforehand because we were planning, we're thinking we might just react to the award show, kind of become something everyone kind of does every year, like dunk on them. But I saw on their page that they were we're going to announce our winners at this time on this day. And I'm like, that seems weird. That doesn't seem like a show. That means they're just going to drop the winners on their page. And lo and behold, Wednesday comes and they just literally just tweeted out a video like, hey, here are the winners. We're done. Leave us the fuck alone. Bye.
It's really funny because, so I can think of legitimate reasons as to why they did it for COVID still being a thing, their merger with Funimation, not enough, just not enough time or energy to actually put on a full on award show. But I like the meme, that reason that could actually be a legitimate reason, which is, as you said, everyone dunks on them every year. And they constantly get shit for it. So I could see them just being like, you know what? You guys complain about this shit every year. Just take it. Just take the winners and move on. So
that's what I want to think it is. And and if we're gonna compare, the Crunchyroll Awards kind of being on an upwards trajectory of just kind of improving every year. Maybe this was the year they were like, you know what? The award show format is just dragging us down. They just want to know the winners. Let's just get to the point, give it to them, and be done.
Yeah, as Emesis said, the YouTube rewind strategy.
Yeah.
Everyone has opinions. Everyone hates it. So we're just not going to do it.
Yeah. And I think it's also that, I do think it could be COVID. It could be the merger, like you said, of Funimation and Crunchyroll. Other factors that, might not seem like the low hanging fruit of everyone dunks on us and let's just end it. Or it could just be that. But, good on them if they just decided, more power to us to just kind of move on from it. Yeah, so there was one other thing I was going to say about it, but yeah, I don't know. I thought the winners were themselves that they released were okay, but I think a lot of people were still kind of dissatisfied. What do you think, Shah?
I did a whole thread reviewing them, which is so extra and probably undermines our podcast as usual. Me tweeting undermining our podcast ideas, another one, but
it's okay. I'm keeping score.
Yeah, thank you. I said that to Onimaru, so that's why it's my own medicine. I'm don't worry, I'm keeping score. No, so I think it's kind of 50-50. So the way I evaluate if an award winner is good is not just if I would pick it, but if I think it's fitting. Because you know how we went over the awards with Sinners and Moz, and there were a lot of awards where we're okay, this is my favorite, but I think it's fair if any of these guys win it.
Yeah.
So it's not always just about the one you want to win. It's who do you think could also be deserving of it?
Yeah.
So that's how I evaluate if I think an award winner is justified or warranted. And I'd say it was about 50-50. 50% were pretty good picks, even if they weren't my picks. And the other 50 were not deserving, probably shouldn't have been there, and they just got there because of the popularity vote. So 50.
Yeah, a lot of them were those votes. I kind of wasn't bothered too much by them just because I expected them. It was more I'm not happy with them, but it's yeah, you knew this was going to win. Come on, in terms of popularity. But I was actually pleasantly surprised with stuff that did get recognized, Odd Taxi stuff. I'm oh, hey, Odd Taxi got something. That's surprising, or that's good. So yeah. I couldn't be too mad at it. So again, like you said, 50-50. The one thing I was going to say in terms of the award show itself and not having an award show this year is I feel in general, in terms of our community and our kind of weeb subculture, whatever that we have kind of overseas, and you might disagree with me, but I think it's not conducive to having an award show that's not easy to dunk on. I think by nature, we're very self-deprecating of our own kind of hobby and thing we enjoy. And it's understandable because we're it's not really we're kind of, I don't want to say appropriating, but we're it's not something that came out of the West. So it's already by nature something from another culture that we're trying to kind of get into and trying to understand. And because it's not inherently ours, our way of kind of coping with that is kind of making fun of it or making fun of being too into it. So then if we try to make it into this whole legitimate awards show, it's just there's no easy way to like do that in a way that's not cringy, that doesn't come off as cringy or something that is easy to kind of make fun of. And I'm speaking here in terms of presentation. I know it also comes down to the winners, but in terms of the presentation.
Might be a hot take on my part, but I always liked the Crunchyroll Awards ceremony, no matter what they did. Like, I always had fun watching it. I think it was cool. I think they used to have like a bunch of different like Crunchyroll representatives who would like be kind of like the MCs of the awards. And then I think they ended up focusing on this guy, Tim, who was like really likable, really fun. And he ended up being like the master of ceremonies. And I always thought he did a really good job. I mean, I had fun with it. I like when they bring on different kind of guests and then like, you know, they announce the winners and kind of give their 2 cents on it. Like, I mean, there's some cringe here and there, but fun fact, the first time I heard about Odd Taxi was last year's Crunchyroll Awards. They had a whole promo for it. So,
oh, wow.
And I think there's some good use for it because like they do have those instances where they reach out to like the actual animators, directors, like actual anime industry, you know, individuals, and they could get their cameos on there. Like, yeah. I think that's pretty cool. And that's something Crunchyroll can do that, like, unfortunately, as of this year, maybe next year, the Weebies could not do, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And no, that's definitely a good take, a good perspective on it. So I don't know. Am I actually in the minority? Because is people's problem with, and chat, you can weigh in as well, is people's problem with the Crunchyroll Awards mostly come down to just the award winners and who's represented? Or is it actually a mix? It's a package of the presentation and the winners, and is it that? Is it both? Or is it literally just, I'm misunderstanding, and it's literally just really what wins?
I feel like there has to be some kind of word for explaining that there's something that, I feel like there has to be a German word for this, kind of like Schadenfreude, but like a different word to describe something where you actually like it, but you only want to complain about it. And I think that's like an instance where, or like a feeling or impulse that I've had and many others have for many things. And I think it can apply to stuff like YouTube Rewind and the Crunchyroll Awards, where like, even if most of the time people kind of complain about it, I think people do actually still enjoy watching about it and enjoy the whole spectacle of it.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'm in the minority. Got it.
Yeah. Well, I can't tell, like, you like the awards or you're like, I like them because they're inherently cringy.
I don't know. I'm whatever about them. I don't really care. Like, I don't even think I ever really sat down. I'd always watch bits and pieces. I think I sat down through the awards, like fully for like the past 2 years. And then the rest was like bits and pieces. And it was okay. There were just some parts that were like, okay, this is definitely cringy. This is like,
but as you said, the anime community is kind of inherently cringy. Like, cringe is at the core. We cannot escape the cringe, no matter how much we try.
It's true. I think, you know, saying we're just weebs is inherently cringy. All, we're just weebs.
Like,
yeah. By the way, Crunchyroll, feel free to hire us next year if you want us to just run the award show. We can do it. Very low budget.
Awards brought to you by Crunchyroll.
Very low budget, all on stream. We got this. Just feel free to reach out.
No green screen right now.
Yeah, just ignore that it says controversy in the back. That's just a joke. You know,
is that what it says?
It says controversy.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that. I didn't even notice that.
That's why I was pointing it out.
I was like, what? It's like, oh, Crunchyroll.
No, I did that for a video once, and I was like, oh yeah, and so I was like, I modified the text to just say controversy.
That's funny. Oh my god.
It was during the Shield Hero stuff. That's why.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What a fun time. I'm so glad Shield Hero is coming back. I'm not excited.
Yeah. But I don't like, I know a lot of people like to dunk on Crunchyroll in general for a lot of things. And, you know, and sometimes I think we have the right to, like, as consumers, but for the most part, I don't actually have a problem with Crunchyroll. I feel like if I compare it back to how anime was back in the day in terms of not as accessible, like, or you have to go buy DVDs and it was just completely different. Like, the things we complain about now are mostly stuff that are just like really, really convenient and kind of easily at our fingertips. So it's sort of just, you know.
I mean, Crunchyroll will always be not that bad because their player actually works, unlike Funimation. Like, I cannot complain enough about Funimation and how their player doesn't work. So
no one tells Shaw that Funimation and Crunchyroll might merge and we might inherit their player.
Can you imagine if that's the one thing they keep from Funimation?
Yes.
Like, I know Funimation's parent company bought Crunchyroll, so I assume it'll be like more advantageous to Funimation. But if they keep the Funimation player, imagine just being like, yeah, we're going to buy them and then go back in time 20 years in terms of technological advancement. Like, actually bad.
Yes.
So Gustavo mentioned that. Fun fact: Germans do love to complain. Half German, live up to that, as evident of right now.
I didn't know that, so now I know. Note to self.
Yeah. So okay, so they said the Funimation app on PS5 is great, but it barely works on PC. I have it. I have a PS5, so I'm gonna test that out later today. I will confirm or deny. But
Okay.
we get a few comments regarding the question of like how do people actually feel about the Crunchyroll Awards in general, and let me see. So C52G said they did miss the live show, and they hope that it wasn't all of the shit that made them quit, and that it's just more memeable and the salt is great during the live show. I agree. Like when you're in the Twitch chat and everyone is just spamming things, I think that's just really fun.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the meme from like the first year of the Crunchyroll Awards. It was like, you know, because Giguk had to kind of get up on stage and speak, and then he just kind of like people like freeze frame the shot and like do it in black and white, and he just looks so miserable like up on stage.
Yeah, I would look so nervous too in front of all those people at like live. I'd be nervous.
Yeah, we're weebs, man. We're not designed to kind of go out and touch grass. Come on.
We're not built for this.
Not built
and
for
then
that.
Amethyst said the only thing people love more than seeing awards is dunking on awards. And I think that's pretty much what I was thinking too. Like people like watching awards, but they do like complaining about them more.
It gives us something to talk about. It's the cultural, you know, conversation. Because imagine if like an award show happened, everybody was happy, and that's it. Like there was nothing to talk about. It just was like it happened that night, and then no one ever mentioned it again. Then you know.
Do you think the last award show people were happy with was when Parasite won at the Oscars, and that was 2019? I think that was like the last time we were happy before COVID. I think that was like the end.
That's literally the last time we were all happy collectively as a culture.
That's the last time we felt happiness as a society.
Yeah. I think I even missed that Oscars, and I hadn't watched Parasite back then, so I probably would have been happy too.
I watched it right after, and I was indeed happy that it won. Very good movie.
Yeah, great movie. So should we get into talking about the big topic at hand, which is because we covered this year. I don't know if we have more to say on kind of the winners this year, but in general, now that kind of like I feel like this is the end of an era for now, assumedly.
Yeah.
Because no more award show format. So the question
unless
is,
they go back to it next year, we don't know.
Then all of this for going back next year.
Yeah, but so what essentially started this is because I see the sentiment both ways with like the latest award. Is this awards worse than ever or is it better than ever? So then it brings up the question, were the awards ever really good or were they always bad? Was there like 1 year where they were ever good? Or is the format just so inherently flawed that it'll never really be good, so to speak? So that inspired us to go back in time and see how every award did since 2016. And I know a lot of people in the anime community now were not around back in 2016, but we both were. So we remember how it was.
Was that your technically like almost like your first year really like into anime, or were you already sort of like, because you told me you got into it, like really into it around then.
Yeah, so I think the first season that I really kept up with and like, you know, really as in like watched 5 seasonal shows was fall 2015.
Okay.
So that was like One Punch Man season. Forget what else was airing that was big that time. I know they had Noragami season 2. Guess Shirobako was that year, but like
that tracks,
essentially that. And then my second, Unlimited Blade Works 2015. So it was like around that time. And then the big year for me was 2016. So I've seen like a decent amount of shows from 2016. So I felt like I could weigh in on the awards.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. And then you watched the awards that year, of course, right?
I think I did. I don't think they had an award show. I think that year
they had 2017, which was really for the 2016 shows. I'm just looking here at the past winners.
I might not have seen that, but I forget how the award show went for that. I remember how the awards went.
Okay. Well, let's just pull it up. Do you want me to pull it up or?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. We're going to go into the past winners and we're going to judge them. If I can just share my screen.
I think this year, 2017 awards, aka 2016 anime, this was only popular vote. They didn't have judges. It was only fan voting because it was the first time they tried it. It was essentially just a bunch of polls on the Crunchyroll website. And
yeah, this was the Yurion Ice Awards, as it was dubbed that year, which was most of the, because I don't think I actually, again, watched the show for this. I just heard the reactions, which were people being annoyed.
I don't think Yurion Ice's reputation in the West ever recovered since this awards. And I think it was like honestly really sad because it was a really big show of like the outcry was a huge show of like half of the people were genuinely unhappy with the awards because they didn't think the quality of the anime was up to par, specifically like best animation in the same year that Mob Psycho 100 came out. Very fair complaint. But there was a lot of like really misogynistic, homophobic complaints of like, well, like girls on Tumblr just voted for it because guys hot kind of logic, which as I'm sure everyone has seen, we've seen the exact same thing from the other point of view happen many times. But I just thought like a lot of the complaints were really disappointing, you know, because like it was very unconstructive.
Yeah, like it was just weird kind of seeing the reaction because I remember while it was airing, kind of everyone was down for the show that I saw in the community. Mm-hmm. People were enjoying it. It was a good time. They really thought the characters, at least in the first few episodes, were like pretty well written. And yeah,
it's a big show. It's
I wasn't surprised that it, got awards. So
yeah, and I'm not against like people complaining about it winning. I mean, like as you guys can know, like big complainer over here. And I think there are a lot of very fair criticisms towards this award. I was just not happy with the type of complaints I saw. Like, you can tell too, like the way people complained about it, it was very much like trying to invalidate every type of person who wasn't them voting for it.
Yeah, because they got best ending, best opening, best animation, best couple, best boy. I don't know if Heartwarming Scene was from Yuri on Ice.
I think that is. That was the one where they kissed.
And then Anime of the Year. So it got like a ton of the awards. And it being the first award show, maybe that part of that's was the disappointment. So
yeah, and to be fair, there was a lot of big anime that came out that year. Like Mob Psycho season 1 came out. The first My Hero Academia season came out. JoJo Part 4 come out. I'm trying to think of other big ones. Erased came out, but that was big. I guess it got best drama. But there were a lot of big contenders. But it is also the case where, Yurion Ice was a fall 2016 show. The awards started in fall 2016. So it was also had that airing bias of like voting was going on when the show was airing.
Yeah. So. And let's see.
And Haikyuu came out then, but
Haikyuu versus Karasuno season 3 pretty much, which was really good. I don't know how this is not on here.
Well, it is a popularity thing, and a lot of people just don't watch sports anime, which is also why Yurion Ice was such a unique situation, because it was a lot of people's first sports anime, first time they had followed that.
Is it really true that a lot of people don't watch sports anime? I thought they would, because sports anime could lean a little more, just to be blunt, like normie.
You would think, but there's a lot of, I think it's the kind of barrier of the premise where people are like, well, why would I want to watch an anime about sports if it's not real sports, or like they don't find the subject matter interesting? It's not always just sports. It's like, why would I want to watch a show about ping pong? Why would I want to watch a show about volleyball? I don't find volleyball interesting.
I could understand that line of thinking, but I guess I've never had that issue because I've always felt that anime has always had the transformative capacity to make any sport or anything just really, really interesting if executed well. So.
Yeah, but that's because you're like, to put it bluntly, like a smart person who's seen more than a few show anime. So, like,
no, but like even in my dumber days when I was like a lot younger, I like watched. Maybe that's why I was a new anime fan, and I was just like wanting to watch anything that came out. So I was pretty unbiased. So I would just watch anything. And one of the first ones I was exposed to was like, Initial D, which is like racing and drifting, street racing, and then Hajime no Ippo, boxing. So I'm like,
I think Ari points it out really well. Haikyuu is pretty popular, but sports anime has a weird stigma, so it's not super mainstream. And that's what I've seen a lot of, where like once you get people watching a sports anime, they totally get it and they vibe with it. It's just that initial barrier where you have to convince them to watch something about a topic they don't find interesting.
Yeah, I got you. Makes sense.
But so you should just give yourself a pat on the back for being open-minded, not biased, and just like getting the vibes.
I'll take the compliment. Thank you. Tommy in the chat mentioned CR Awards results aren't actually that bad. They're just normie awards. When you check the result of Anime Corner and Anime Trending site, it's totally a different world.
I saw the Anime Trending Awards too, and funny enough, I probably like the Crunchyroll Awards more, but it just depends, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so pretty much this was the Yurion Ice year. I don't really think it was a bad year. I just think, obviously, I mean, like they could have tried to have a little more like diversity, like in terms of like reaching out to other, like trying to give like a shout out to other anime that were pretty good that year, because there were, as you mentioned, other good contenders. So
yeah, I'm looking up and I think it's
I think they've improved on.
I think they've improved. Now. They've learned from this lesson that they should try to do a different format. This was definitely a learning year.
Yeah, and they definitely had much less categories here. They've kind of they expanded on them over the years. So, all right.
Yeah, but so here's the next year. So this is 2017 anime covered in 2018.
All right, let's do that. And this is the year Made in Abyss won.
The only good anime of the year winner. I'm so excited.
Yeah, well, I actually really enjoyed Girls Last Tour, so I'm glad to see it up here.
Is this the first and last year they had a best slice of life category?
I think so. I don't think
sequel. They had best continuing series. They had best sequel. So this is also like a bit indicative of the My Hero Academia Awards, which would continue on for many years. So because you get best boy, best girl, best opening, best animation, best action. So they're kind of dominating like 50% of the awards. Best hero. With best hero, it's really just like which My Hero Academia character.
Yeah,
exactly. What other show has heroes?
Yeah, this is like a pretty tongue-in-cheek category, just like best hero. But like, I feel like in order to not let My Hero Academia dominate, they were like, all right, let's make up other categories to just honor these shows, and just like because like best CGI.
I think.
I mean, it did have the best.
They're like, you could tell they're like, okay, we really need to give Land of the Lustrous an award, and this is the only way. So let's give him best CGI.
Yeah, someone else just literally just said the same thing in the chat. Yeah, I feel like best CGI. Yeah. Or did you just read that? Sorry.
I did read that, and then I did essentially paraphrase that. Thank you, C5TG.
Sorry for being redundant.
No, that's perfect. Yeah, I think that's just so funny. If they had best romance, I think Suki ga Kiri would win, but probably should have happened. But yeah, so this is actually, my Hero Academia opinions aside, I think this is a pretty indicative representation of how people felt about 2017 anime.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's pretty accurate. Just because My Hero Academia season 2 was at its height that year. That was like the peak of the series for a lot of people. And I think that's when most fans felt the most favorably towards it.
Yeah.
I still see people talking about season 2.
I mean, I thought season 2 was a very, very strong season. When I caught up, I was like, this is amazing, like seeing it animated. So I don't blame people, because mostly the descent started around season 3. People really started not being happy with it, like in season 3.
Yeah.
Season 3 onward.
Yeah. And I think it did. This was the year where I think it's kind of a meme from like Maz, and where he says My Hero Academia invented something because it's funny like discourse. But I do think My Hero Academia invented the trend of a really impressive piece of animation going viral on Twitter, and then people checking the show out because of it, which is part of the reason Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen have gotten as big. So this was the year where like that became a trend.
This was definitely the most spam scene, was Todoroki versus Deku. That exploding ice and kind of ice fire and segment.
And it looks great.
Yeah, it did. They had a best manga category? Huh.
That's kind of cool.
That is cool. Why did that leave? That again feels like, all right, we want to represent this one thing. Let's just throw up this category that we're probably never going to have again.
I think this was when Crunchyroll started like having manga as something you could read on there, and that's probably gone away since then.
I think they still have it, or maybe they don't. I don't know. The manga reader for that thing has always been super wonky.
Yeah. I have heard good things about this manga, and I remember when this ceremony came out, everyone was afraid My Hero Academia would win Anime of the Year, and everyone was cheering like nonstop when it was Made in Abyss. And I do think Made in Abyss is a good Anime of the Year winner.
Yeah, it's crazy because I didn't even watch Made in Abyss that year. I watched it at like in January. Like I was just catching up on all the anime that I heard were good that year, and I was like watching them all at once, and it was amazing.
I think this was a really strong year, and my top 3 were Made in Abyss, Land of the Lustrous, and Girls Last Tour, and they're all here, so I'm happy.
Yep, I'm gonna throw in Made in Abyss into that, and then we're square. Yeah, I mean, sorry, not Made in Abyss. I'm stupid. Your Name.
I will
throw
also
Your
throw
Name into that.
Made in Abyss into the Made in Abyss category.
So top 4 for me. I mean, Maja's Bride was good too, but
I dropped that because I thought it was really boring. But I like Miss Dragon Maid, and I liked Tsuki ga Kiri, so there was a strong.
Yeah,
it was a really strong year across
really
many genres, which is cool.
Yeah, even March Comes in Like a Lion is in here, so.
Podcast favorite anime. Get our guests' favorite series.
I feel like that's our meme favorite anime.
Yeah.
You know, because how much people have just tried to tear it down.
It's so funny because you're gonna go into it and you're probably either gonna love it or be like, guys, you guys need to chill on this.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, you know what? I feel like this show insists upon itself.
This insists upon it. That's like kind of fair, actually. That's a fair thing to
I'm
say.
not. I'm just literally just copying Tay. I don't know. I have to see and watch it.
It depends on how much you like the shaftness.
I'm not like. I mean, I don't know. I enjoyed the shaftness in Monogatari, so we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that's the 2017 anime covered in 2018.
Yeah.
And I think like marginal improvement. I don't think it's bad. Definitely.
I think it's
big improvement in terms of Made in Abyss winning. So
I would call it good to very good, despite My Hero Academia dominance. I think my thing is like, so it's fitting that My Hero Academia dominated this year because that's how I felt it was in the community. Like, I feel like it was a very My Hero Academia year. So that's fitting, even if it doesn't completely line up with like my picks.
But is this the year where they started calling it the My Hero Academia Awards, or was that the following year? Okay.
No, this is is it.
So,
but funny enough, you'll notice people didn't complain about it as much because they didn't view it as gay friendly as Yurion Ice. So it wasn't as much of an issue for people, which is also like reflects on how a lot of the Yurion Ice complaints were like homophobic in nature.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so definitely a big improvement. Going on to 2019. Oh, I remember this year. This is the 2018 anime. Yeah. Those 2 years were really strong years in anime, 2017 and 2018.
Am I allowed to hot take it? Am I allowed to drop a hot take?
Why is it right after I say something?
No, okay. I was going to say this before, and then this was a good lead-in. This was a good year.
Okay.
Okay, it wasn't you. So 2018 is like so many people's favorite year of anime, and it's probably one of the weakest I've watched for me personally.
I spoke too soon.
No, you're okay. It's literally just me though. Like everyone else loves it.
Well, everybody raves about that year, honestly, because of Devilman Crybaby. It was like.
Well, I like Devilman Crybaby. That's one of my favorites for the year.
Well, that's why I think like people were really raving about 2018 was mainly because
I
of
see
Devilman
it more
Crybaby.
for like Sora Yori, Violet Evergarden, like a lot of those series where I was like, oh yeah, these are pretty good, but none of these are like all-time greats for me,
Yeah, Darling in the Franxx.
Yeah, no. Okay, the Darling in the Franxx opening, even when the show was like not the worst thing of all time, was still not that good.
Yeah.
I'm taking beef with that. That's like Yuri. See, you check our chat. Everyone's like, Sora Yuri was robbed. I don't agree. I don't think it was robbed. I think I have it on the same level as Devilman Crybaby.
I actually do too. So, I have it on the same level. I'm not a big Devilman Crybaby fan, but I appreciate it, and I do have it on the same level as.
That's where I'm at. I respect it more than I like it. You know what I mean?
Yes, I definitely do. And it was a huge influence on End Evangelion, so I also got to appreciate it by anime. That token. Yeah. Yuasa won Best Director, Best Protagonist, Rimuru Tempest.
Kind of deserved, I guess.
Yeah, he's wholesome. Best Antagonist, All for One, from My Hero Academia. Best Animation, you have to give it to Violet Evergarden. I don't know how you can argue that.
That's kind of a sweep.
Have you looked at that water?
She watched 82 shows and nothing above an 8. That is my MC. Amethyst is my MC.
Awesome.
You're like, okay, fuck off. You're like, shut up. No one cares.
I'm trying to think like if I had anything that was above an 8 for this year. I mean, I loved Bunny Girl Senpai that year before the movie. No offense, Chad, if you like the movie.
Offense, yes, offense if you love the movie.
I think I gave Bunny Girl Senpai like an 8, so still tracks.
I think I gave it a 7, and then I lowered it to a 6. But I think Mai is a great best girl pick.
Exactly. There you go. She was. I think this is the year I did like an awards show thing for my channel, and I did like best girl, and I gave it to. I did a fake out. I gave it to 02, and then I was like, JK, nah, it's my Sakurajima.
That was good.
Yeah, it was kind of mean.
What films were in 2018? That's a good question. I wonder if we can see the nominees.
Best film, Two Heroes. I like Two Heroes.
That's a good question. I feel like there were like, I don't want to say actual films, but like standalone films that people wanted to win. And I feel like this was when people were like, oh, I don't know. I forget which other ones. People were bringing up Makuya, and everyone knows how I feel about Makuya, so I'll shut up on that front.
If you don't know how I feel, it's probably like similar to Shaw, so there you go.
See, and like, no one else has got me on the feel bait weird drama films that make you cry. Onimaru's got me on the.
And I like those, so I don't get it. Like, people were raving about that film for like, I heard about it for like 3 years. Finally watched it. I didn't get it. I just didn't get it.
I get like some parts of it, but then like other parts were like just kind of like actively dumb.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I don't get the hype for it.
Kangaroos came out that year too. Okay, I think My Hero Academia was a good film winner. I haven't seen it, but I'm gonna give it to My Hero Academia.
I like Two Heroes, so it was good. I don't think it's like the best film ever, but it was fun. So,
well, look at who's competing against, which we've actually seen, and we're like, I think.
My Hero Academia takes it. You got it.
Yeah. If I'm saying My Hero Academia takes it, it was not a year of films.
Honestly, if I had my way, and that's actually a good point, Shaw. But if I had my way, best antagonist should have actually been Pancreas. That's what it should have been.
Yes.
If we could redo this year, let's redo some of these years and make them like retro weebies, and we'll just make that Pancreas.
Someone brought up Liz and the Bluebird. Who's gonna tell him?
All right, let's go on to the next year.
So this year, would you say this year is like, how would you rate this year compared to the other ones? Like, if we have 3 now, which is the best year so far and worst? Because I guess we can rank them when we're done.
I don't know. Like, how can you beat Made in Abyss as anime of the year? So I'm gonna have to give it to the year before. So I'd say the year before is better. So this one comes second, and then the other one, the first one, 2017, is like third.
I agree. Wait. Onimaru, you've seen the Brawly film, right?
Yeah.
Which one is better? C52G was wondering. My Hero Academia film or Brawly?
I might be biased, but I'd say the Broly film. Even though it had some weird like CGI towards the end, the animation for it was just so like phenomenal, like, and playful for like a Dragon Ball Z sort of film. It was like, even for that alone, it was like really, really good. Yeah. Because like, it just like normally in Dragon Ball Z, like they've just gotten used to like having these big, like muscly, stiff looking characters. And there they looked more like, it kind of was more reminiscent of Dragon Ball. So that was pretty cool.
I found the old nominees for this year. And if you see the nominees for best opening, it's so offensive that Darling in the Franxx won. But anyway, I'm going on to best
I don't think that's a great opening.
This is the same year as the Wodokoi opening, the first JoJo opening, and the Pop Team Epic opening.
All right, we need to move on.
I'm just looking at the films real quick.
And I don't even like Pop Team Epic, and I love the opening.
The opening was done by the same studio as the JoJo opening studio.
That makes sense. Oh, do you agree with best character design, Golden Wind?
I remember the rant that Trixie, who went by Digibro back in the day, who is now Trixie.
Oh, yes, I watched that. I watched it.
That was the funniest thing I've seen. So I would say it was worth it just for that. But also, I got to give a shout out to Miyano Mamoru winning for best performance for Zombieland Saga, which was definitely deserved.
Oh, I definitely agree with that. I only watched like 2 episodes of Zombieland Saga, but he definitely made it really entertaining. So,
okay, so I checked the nominees for best film for this year, and they had Night is Short, Walk On Girl. That's the like Tatami Galaxy style kind of movie, and then Two Heroes, Mirai of the Future, Liz and the Bluebird, Mazinger Z Infinity, and Fireworks, that movie that everyone unanimously hates. So I think it's a win for two heroes.
Yeah, because I think people didn't like Mirai either.
I did not like it, and then it got nominated for an Oscar for some reason, but
okay,
whatever.
All right, so let's move on. Yeah. I think this is definitely better than the first year in terms of diversity, variety. And it does feel a little less like they just threw up categories that were just, to kind of call out a specific anime. Because there's a lot of categories you don't see here from the previous year now, like, best manga, best sequel. So
best individual genre of something. It's interesting that they got rid of all of those because I thought that was kind of cool.
And they added industry icon.
Isn't that person from Wit Studio? And they were like, yeah, we're going to work our people to death.
I think so. I think that was the issue that year with honoring him.
Because they do have this thing where they give the industry icon award to people who others are question mark. What are you doing?
Yeah. But I do actually, you know what? Even though they did that the previous year, not talking about the industry icon thing, but more sort of just giving a category just to shout out one specific anime. I feel like
no, I was wrong. It's the Bones president. Okay, that's fair. I don't want to no misinformation. Sorry, I had to nip that in the bud really quick.
So Masahiko Minami is just the Bones president. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, sorry. Just wanted to correct that real quick. Didn't mean to interrupt.
No. All I was saying was just it's not too bad to kind of give just a specific award for one specific anime because it's you just want to call it out, and that'll just get people to check it out if it's obscure or anything.
Yeah.
All right.
Harry says that 2020 gave the award to the Wit guy, so we're gonna get to that soon. Yep. So now we get to the bad. Now we get to the bad one. Let's
do it now. We only have 2 years left here. So 2020. For the 2019 anime, we already see right at the top, anime of the year, Demon Slayer.
Okay.
I can't blame it. That was a big Demon Slayer year, so definitely got a lot of people into anime. Best protagonist, Senku.
Oh, I remember people were flipping the fuck out because Isabella from Promise Neverland won over Ashlod from Vinland Saga for best antagonist. And they were okay, the Vinland Saga fans, myself included, I'm a Vinland Saga fan. They were reeing it up to a ridiculous degree as if Isabella wasn't another good antagonist. I think they should calm down.
This is when the Promised Neverland was at its peak. Come on.
Yeah, they think they should calm down a bit, both were good, but she's also deserving. Maybe Ashlad is a bit more deserving, but also calm down.
I don't know. It's in terms of if they're relating it to Isabella, how we were having this conversation recently, how some people confuse antagonist with villain. Mm-hmm. And Isabella definitely felt more villainous.
Yeah.
Ashala just felt more cool. So maybe if they thought of it in those terms, they're Isabella is definitely more left I don't know. I don't want to say Ashalad isn't memorable. He is, but
it's one of those weird things where Ashalad is technically an antagonist, but most of the story you kind of feel okay.
He's pulling the strings in the background. It's not like he's actively, kind of getting in Thorfinn's way, but he is. So
yeah, Thorfinn has chosen him as his antagonist, and Ashalad is I do not give a shit, bro. Calm down.
I don't care, bro.
Yeah, it's really funny actually. But I mean, as characters, I like Ashalad more than Isabella, but I think you could make a good case that she's a better antagonist than him. So.
Yeah, definitely, because the kids are forced into this corner and they have to get out, and she's literally what's standing in her way. So what's standing in their way. So
I think it's fair. I'm gonna look up the nominees just on my phone to weigh in on the other ones since they're not on this website.
Oh, okay.
So let me know if you want to know any specific category nominees so we know who they beat.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Best boy, Tanjiro. Saw that.
It could have been Mob.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
This is Mob Psycho season 2 year. So I think, this is actually this is more disappointing the more I remember this year. Because I like 2019 as a year for anime a lot.
Yeah, but I could see why they chose Tanjiro though.
Yeah.
And it's not even, part of it is Demon Slayer's popularity, but also if they also are superficial about it, then it's Mob does look kind of plain.
I guess so. I'm
just saying.
I know you're doing good devil's advocate, and I'm just whining.
I would pick Mob. That ending of season 2 was best boy status, right there. Best girl, Raftalia. Not surprised.
I forgot how much I hate Shield Hero. I'm excited because you thought I hated Mushoku Tensei. Wait till Shield Hero season 2 comes back. Hate in my heart will be on fire.
I
I gave Shield Hero a 3, by the way.
Really?
Yeah,
Did you watch all of it?
I did. Yeah, that's why I gave it a 3.
I only watched like 4 episodes and then I just dropped off.
You really watched the best and then saved it. Because here's my beef with Shield Hero.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is I'm actually down with the initial premise of like him being this dude who's screwed over by the society, and then they still expect him to save him. But the problem is it becomes every other kind of power fantasy OP like isekai in the next season, where like he has a harem of girls, he's actually stronger and smarter than everyone, and they do it in the most boring way. So it's like they went away from like the main thing that made it interesting and made it really boring.
Yeah, I don't even know like how the anime does it. I don't even know how the light novel does it, because I found out. So I liked it because I read the web novels for it, and I had read like 10 volumes, and I was into it because a friend like had lent them to me. And then I got annoyed when I found out, like, because I didn't know the concept of the difference between web novels and light novels. So I didn't know that it wasn't like what the anime was being adapted on, that they were actually light novels. Like I thought what I was reading was the light novels, and I was like, oh, so like what is this? What am I reading?
That's kind of wild.
So I guess like the light novels were even like edited down even more, because I heard in the original web novels he was even more of a scumbag, which I don't know. I didn't really notice because I just got like what I got really into was like the game mechanics and like the nitty gritty of like how he was building his like I don't know
shield,
like
which
yeah,
cool.
like I just thought that was really cool. Like I like that's what I like about like RPGs, and I get like really into when you have like a robust like very intricate like mechanic on how to become like all powerful in a game, but you have to like do all these things to get there. So
yeah, it's like I don't know. It seems so weird because they have the interesting aspect of like how he makes his shield really powerful. And there was this one section that I really liked, which might have been in the web novel, but I'm not sure. But it shows how like the other 3 heroes were kind of treating it like a game. And there was one of them who like killed this dragon, but didn't like clean up afterwards. And like the remains of the dragon had this poison that like destroyed this one town.
That was in the web novel.
Yeah, and that's like really interesting, like an interesting way of going about it, and showing how because the shield hero main character like was not under any delusions of grandeur or fantasy about this place, that he was kind of taking it more seriously. So he's able to connect with the people. That's like the interesting stuff that I wish they stuck with, instead of like fuck this bitch, or like she did this, so let's like I don't know, like with the one girl who like falsely accused him of rape, they just spend like a ridiculous amount of time being like, look how she's being punished, fuck this, and then like showing about how like everyone wants the main character's dick and how cool he is now. Like that got away from it, and I'm like, there are good pieces here that they're underutilizing, so it was annoying. Anyway.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, sorry about that tangent over. Not watching.
No, I think it's totally valid. I was like flashing back to all the arguments from both sides about it and the back and forth, and it's just like it was very toxic.
It was very tiring and very like unhelpful. Like people were like, "Oh, this is like an incel power fantasy," and it's like I don't know. Like I didn't agree with that sentiment. I think people were really judgy at the beginning, and I think they should have just like let it play its part out. I don't know.
Yeah, because literally it was the controversy was right in the very like from the first week, the first episode. Like,
yeah, and I didn't agree with that. I didn't agree with I didn't agree with a lot of the framing of the criticisms, and I have my own criticisms later on. So I have to be like, hey guys, I don't have the original criticism. I have different criticism.
I'd like to think we've gotten slightly better as a community, but hey, growing pains. So back to this list, you know, I don't really see an issue with anything. Best animation, deservedly to Mob Psycho 102. So best drama, Vinland Saga. So that's definitely getting, you know, some representation here.
Best character design, Dororo. That's kind of cool. That's a cool pick.
Yeah, Dororo is actually pretty solid. Best opening sequence, you know, maybe this was controversial.
That's
deserved.
Deserved.
People really like, they were like divided on 99.9 versus the original 99. So
I'm a 99.9 fan, but both are good.
I like both. I think I slightly prefer 99, but not like in a way where I'm going to put down 99.9. I do like both.
I think both are pretty top tier.
Yeah. Best score, Carol and Tuesday, but I guess Maki is a specific song. Or no, that's maybe the artist.
I think that's just the composer.
Yeah, the composer. The Carol and Tuesday score was good.
This is actually pretty good. Everything except the Industry Icon Award going to Wit, when this is the same year as the KyoAni tragedy. That's actually like very bad.
Oh, okay.
And this was the guy who was bragging about overworking people. I think Ari had like almost the exact quote. Where to go?
That's kind of like interesting. Today I literally just saw a tweet from like a Mappa animator or director or something saying like it was his first time going home in 3 days.
Oh my God.
And it was just like, yeah, they're putting out a lot.
Yeah. I think they should have done something during the ceremony, getting back to kind of like the ceremony talk. They should have done something for Kyoto Animation of just like a tribute from people. And I think it's really bad that they didn't do anything like that, especially since they did have a ceremony, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's just really tasteless. Like would be a good opportunity to be like, hey, here your Western fans are thinking about you. Or someone said it was the year before. But I think it happens I think it happened during I think it happened July before these awards came. So like they could have mentioned it at these awards.
Unless they had to plan this out way far in advance to kind of contact the person and, maybe it was all set to kind of last minute change. Cause I can imagine it's like probably really hard to put these shows together live. So
yeah, that's a fair point.
All right. So, I don't think this is a bad year. It definitely.
They got Best Couple, Kaguya and Shirogane. They got Best Comedy, Kaguya. I think this is like a good showing.
Yeah,
Best voice actor for.
Sorry, let me go.
Japanese voice actor. My favorite getting it for Bruno. Okay.
Voice actor. Yeah.
I'll take it.
Definitely. He was great actually. I'm good with this year. I would say, I still think the Made in Abyss year is like slightly better.
Yeah, that's still my favorite.
So I would put this like right above the other stuff, but below the Made in Abyss one because
I agree with that.
It's getting better, variety.
We're getting more variety. I'm down with that.
And I don't think I had a problem with the last one, but let's double check here. So
I forget. So also for Beastars fans like me, everyone was like, why isn't Beastars showing up in the same year as the 2019 anime? And that's because it was on Netflix and it wasn't officially released until like the following year. So it'll show up in this awards instead of the other one.
That makes a lot of sense because that's what they did this year with the films. They didn't, kind of include them until they were released here. So that makes a lot of sense.
I don't think they had best film for 2020.
Well, we're about to find out. So I'm going to ignore this at the top.
Yeah. We voiced our complaints about Jujutsu Kaisen winning Anime of the Year when it's still airing.
Yeah. No shade against the show itself. Just,
the rules.
Just that.
Best film, right? Best opening Beastars. This is the best year. This is all that counts. That's all that counts. I'm so happy. That's the best award winner of this entire series. I'm so happy.
We've been keeping it so like fair and unbiased, and now just the true colors are revealed.
Deserved.
Nothing else matters.
Nothing else matters.
I mean, Hinata Shoyo, best boy, that's it. That's all I need.
Kaguya won best girl. That's so good. Look at this. This is awesome.
I think people were pretty happy with this year.
Wait, I'm happy with this year.
Fruits Basket, best drama.
Look, Fruits Basket won something. That's how you know it's a good sign.
Yeah. Best comedy, Kaguya. Best ending sequence, Lost in Paradise.
Oh, hey, look, it's me. Look, it's me.
Best score, Kevin Penkin.
Subaru's voice actor won best voice actor. That's kind of awesome.
Best couple, Tony Kawa. Maybe. Best fantasy, ReZero.
So this is all the complaints people had for this year's award. It's like, just look at last year's and then call it a day.
Yeah.
Amethyst brought up Needs More Great Pretender. I think that should have won
something for
best character designs. I think that would be a good winner.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, because I remember like watching it and just picking out like all the Evangelion lookalikes.
Yeah, because it's by the same character
same character designer, Yoshiki
so
Sadamoto.
Funny.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is great. He looks like Fuyutsuki. He looks like Kaji with blonde hair.
Yeah. Best director, Yuasa. I don't know if Eizouken has best animation, but like it's not a bad pick, Yeah,
I didn't watch all of Eizouken, so I can't even comment.
It was pretty good, I think, but I don't
best
think
director, but it had best animation. But is that more of a tongue-in-cheek thing since it's about creating animation?
It might be one of those self-serving, like, we're going to give the best anime awards to the series about anime,
Yeah. It's kind of
the only actual issue is them giving it to Anime of the Year to a show that is currently airing.
That just bothers me.
Yeah, the rules just are, like, kind of bullshit.
Like, I think I'd give it a pass if it was split core, where it was like it
Yeah,
finished
like
one.
the Attack on Titan situation.
Yeah, like all right, I'll give that a pass because at least you got everything you were gonna get for that year or season within that year.
Yeah.
Not just it continues on like, hey, next week, you know, nothing happened, still
Yeah.
gone. Best protagonist, Katarina Kleiss.
People like that a lot. People were really happy with that.
This is when she was at her best. I didn't watch season 2, so I don't know.
Oh, did you go downhill?
No, I have no idea. I don't know where
okay.
the show stands, if it's still just as good, if she's still just as good, but I know based on season 1, it was a lot of fun, so.
This might be my favorite year of awards.
Someone in the chat told me to watch Eizouken.
Eizouken's pretty good.
I need a second opinion. I don't want to be told to watch it. Give me a second opinion.
I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's like a must watch, like drop everything you're watching, but I think it's a pretty fun show.
I think I'd prioritize Ping Pong over it since, you know,
Oh, yeah,
in terms
if
of
you
Yuasa works.
Yeah, so like it's definitely not the best Yuasa works. I think you should prioritize Tatami and Ping Pong over it. And then like if you want to watch the rest of his stuff, like include it on there.
Definitely. And I do enjoy shows that are about production or animation. So
this one's cool because it's about girls in like a club working on it. So it's very like 3 girls working on their own mini animation feature, and it's pretty cool.
I think I did watch the first episode. It was all right. But I guess I have to watch more of it.
Just watch Yuasa. I did
I did like the imagination sequence they had in the first episode where she just starts like picturing like everything and then like it shows it all drawn. So that was like pretty cool.
Yeah, and they have a lot more of that. So if you're into that kind of sequence, that does not go away. So
yeah, cool. Best fight scene: Deku versus Overhaul. I don't know if I agree with that, but I don't know if there was anything better that year. Who were the other?
I will find out. I'm on it.
Because I just remember being more hyped about that fight in the manga.
That's how I felt about the All for One.
Yes. Versus
that one
All Might.
Almost made me cry, to be honest.
Dude, I was like reading them because I originally read that in the manga and it was just like it was amazing. I don't know.
That like really got me. I was like shooketh.
Yeah, when All Might was holding like the little flame like that was supposed to be Deku, like protecting it.
Oh, that was so good. I don't know. There's something weird with like the My Hero Academia anime where like they focus in on the fights that aren't as focused in the manga sometimes. Like, you know, you remember reading the like tournament arc in the manga? I don't know if you read that one.
No, I did read it in the manga originally.
You know how like the Deku versus Todoroki fight is like big, but it's not as big as like All Might versus One for All. But I swear like the anime fans would be like, nah, it's, you know, it's completely different, you know?
Yeah, no, like when I read the manga originally, the one that really stood out in my head was like the peak was All for One versus All Might. And I barely I kind of remembered the tournament, but it wasn't like that much in my head as it is for season 2 in the anime. So
yeah, and it was weird. I don't know how it was like that. Okay. I found the old nominees. What am I looking for? Best fight?
Yes, just to see what the nominees were. What was this fighting against?
Good news, Amethyst. She mentioned that Princess Connect had better animation. It was nominated, so that's kind of cool.
I've heard things about that one.
Yeah, I might watch it because I saw something that reminded me of Shadow of the Colossus. So I'm like, okay, I'm in.
Speaking of crazy animation, I've always heard good things about Shadow of Colossus, but I'll ask you about that in a second. Okay. Speaking of good animation, I just saw like some sequence on like TikTok for like we had to look it up. It was like from Symphogear. It was like a crazy like pole dancing transformation sequence, and I was
sorry, go ahead.
No, that was it. I saw it and I was like, where is this from? And then we looked it up. I was like, oh, Symphogear. I'm like, huh, interesting. It was really, really good. Like
I've heard literally everything about Symphogear. I think we should make that like a Patreon thing where we react to it.
I think so too. We can just like have like a whole 10-hour group watch. We're just like fucking tired and we just want to get through it, and then we'll just cut it down to like 30 minutes of like the highlights.
That would be really funny.
I think we should do that.
I would be down.
Yeah, I want to pick a show that like you won't be inclined to watch on your own, and you won't be inclined to tweet about beforehand. That is the formula.
I can shut up sometimes. I can do it. I can not tweet, and that's like.
I think I just gotta pick something that you just don't have the motivation to unless it's in a group. So that's it.
You start getting twitchy without tweeting, and you're like, stop. You can be a real person.
Let's lock it. Let's lock it down.
Okay, best fight scene nominees were Gojo versus Sakuna, that first one. You remember like in the first couple episodes where they did that cool one?
Yeah, that was good.
The God of High School. I don't know what fight it was. I don't think it matters because it was just like all fights.
Nah, the God of High School webtoon was better.
Yeah. Sword Art Online 2, Alexization, War of Bullshit Part 2, Broccoli versus Emperor Bullshit. His name is Emperor Vector. That sounds dumb as shit. And it's essentially broccoli, but it's called Broccoli. Whatever, fuck it.
I can't be mad. Like, I can't complain about that because literally all the Dragon Ball Z characters are named after vegetables. So literally.
Oh, that's kind of funny, but that's intentional. Then we have
it is. Planet Vegeta's named after vegetable. Whatever. I'm not gonna keep going.
There's another God of High School fight, and then Brawler versus Master and Akudama Drive. I have to see Akudama Drive. I hear
actually before anyone corrects me, vegetables and food and some instruments. There you go.
Oh, interesting.
Mundane
Piccolo.
things.
Piccolo.
Yeah, Piccolo. What? Akudama Drive. I've always heard of that one. Haven't watched it.
Could be another one we watch.
So someone said Symphogear is the most anime ever. I don't know what this means.
It's probably, I've heard that it's just like very over the top and has like no logic, and they just do a lot of crazy shit.
ClassFac is saying you will become a Symphogear after you finish.
It's bold. It's a bold take to think I will like it because I don't really know. And I've heard literally like, I've heard the first season is the best and the last season is the best and everything is in between. I've never seen a series that has a lack of consensus like Symphogear.
It was just interesting because I was reading about that specific sequence I was talking about. I found an article like about how the director or the animation person that did it like approached it, and he was doing everything in his power because I think they told him don't make it sleazy. So he was doing everything in his power to not make this pole dancing transformation sleazy looking. And then apparently he had to cut it like a few times and even cut it some more that didn't make it to the final cut in order to like not make it sleazy.
I don't know how you make a pole dance not sleazy.
I mean, it was really cool. So I guess maybe that's how, like, it leaned more towards coolness, and then it didn't feel sleazy. I don't know. That's an interesting case study. We should do more of those.
Yeah, we should look at all the pole dancing anime and see which are sleazy and not.
I think it's a good idea. It won't be sleazy at all.
Oh, of course you found this on TikTok after you telling me about your TikTok adventures.
You know what's funny? It wasn't even my TikTok. It was my fiance's TikTok. So there you go. You can't even blame me.
Because after your TikTok stories, that's another story.
Listen, I don't even want to bring it up.
Listen, I wasn't going to fully expose it, but I was going to mention it.
Listen, it was an experiment, okay? I wanted to see how the algorithm worked. And actually, after it got to that point, I haven't even opened TikTok because I just don't want to. I don't want to see what's there anymore. I peeked too far into the abyss, and now it's like, all right, this is just weird.
And you're like, let's come back.
Let's bring it back. I don't know how to bring it back. How do you bring your TikTok back? How do you like bring it back, like reset it, like to like normal stuff?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Let me know
make a new anime. Wait, I do want to watch Panty and not new anime, a new TikTok account. Wait, I do want to watch Panty and Stocking.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's been on my list for years. It hasn't. I'm not interested, but I will watch it if people tell me.
I'll watch it and report back.
My fiance watched it when she was airing, so I watched her watch it.
That's, tangentially you watched it.
Yeah, like I watched the last episode. It looked fun. It looked very trigger, even though it was Gynax.
Yeah. I'm excited for it because it kind of looks like a Western series, but they just kind of like.
I love the transformation sequences for it, so that was really cool. They would like look cartoony, and then when they do the transformation sequences, it would be like full detailed anime style.
That sounds so fun. I'm excited.
Yeah. All right, back to this. Besides Jujutsu Kaisen, even with Jujutsu Kaisen as the winner.
Yeah, because if I cope enough and I say, okay, Crunchyroll Awards are stupid, like the Crunchyroll Award rules are stupid, but everything else is pretty good. All
right, so I'm just gonna one hypothetical here. Now, if I just delete this category, just pretend it's not even there, I'm gonna block it out. Is it still the best year?
Yeah, because Best Boy Hinata and Best Girl Kaguya. That's also carrying.
All right. Okay.
So I have at least.
It could be second best, Cha. It doesn't need to be at the top.
No, it's got to be the best because I was coping through 2017 a lot, considering half the winners were My Hero Academia. But this time, I'm like, this is it.
I mean, it's a very fair balance, I think.
That was probably the most balanced.
Do you think it's better than this year's then?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
because I feel like there's way more variety of anime here, and I don't know if it's just because there's more categories or what, but like it feels like there's way more here than what won this year. I don't know.
I don't think there's that any more categories. I think they just really differentiated a lot.
Yeah, so that was really cool.
They did really good. This was really good. This was the peak of the Crunchyroll Awards.
I can agree with that. Because really the thing carrying this year for me is really Made in Abyss and Girls Last Tour.
And the best CGI. And best film for you.
Yeah, actually. So it's either between this year, 2018, and 2021 for me as like the top. And then everything else kind of falls under. So they've like...
Do we want to look at the current winners again just for a quick recap?
Yeah. Let's look at the current winners.
And then we could do our full ranking.
Yep, let's go. We should just make a tier list.
Tier list it is.
All right, so... Is there a way to like collapse these?
You can at the top. Yeah, you can collapse after.
This. All right, great.
So attack.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you want to start with the end, like from the top? We can do the bottom. Okay. Starting from the bottom. Let's go.
Best performance, Russia. No.
This is too far. English.
I didn't even check who won. That's probably deserved because
that's who we voted for in our reactions. We were just like, you know what? He did that line. Okay.
He did the line. He did the bitches, bros, and non-binary hoes.
Yeah.
Was that him? Okay.
Yep. That's why we were like, all right, we're gonna pick him by default.
Yep.
So, and then, sorry.
No, I was gonna bring up something about best Japanese performance. So
here it is. So we got Yuki Kaji.
Very deserved. And here's one of the things I will defend the Crunchyroll Awards for, like the existence of them. He like saw this award and tweeted about it and how excited he was. And I feel like, you know, no matter what, just like anyone in Japan, like seeing that like the Western audience appreciates them and feeling really happy about it, I feel like that justifies the Crunchyroll Awards.
I actually, you know what? I want to add into that too. Like I have seemed a bit negative towards the Crunchyroll Awards, but when I've seen that too, like, cause I've always felt like the Japanese, like they don't really care too much about the overseas fans, not in a negative way, but it's not their primary market. So they don't really kind of have any way to interact with them. And when I would see the directors or voice actors being genuinely happy about it, it was a very heartwarming feeling. I was like, oh, nice.
I think it's like a nice surprise for them because they probably don't expect it. So when they do see it, they're like, oh, wait, this is awesome.
Yeah, just to know that, hey, you have other fans here that really appreciate your work. So I thought that's really cool. I mean, I think this was kind of also expected. Like, he had a great performance, but also, like, if you look at the other nominees, it was like, could have been Otokawa. They definitely weren't going to pick Jigen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And... you know, a lot of people hate Gabby enough that they wouldn't pick her. So
even though she did a great job, but
yeah,
I think this is one of those. This is one of those award winners where it's like, even if he wasn't my first pick, he's more than deserving of this.
Oh, so, definitely, yeah. All right, best film. This one, you know, so before you got on, I was basically saying like, I don't know how this beat out Evangelion, but at the same time, I do know how this beat out Evangelion. So I'm not surprised, but still.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Evangelion should have won, but this is probably my second favorite movie here. So, like, I guess that's fine. I guess it's fine.
I mean, I haven't watched Shirobako the movie yet, but from what I've heard people say, yeah, this was probably... I did like Mugen Train, the film, so I don't know.
But every time Demon Slayer gets brought up in any capacity, I'm like, well, I guess it was pretty okay. And that's how I feel about everything it wins. Like, yeah, I guess so.
I just feel like the fourth Ava movie was just so monumental.
They should have rigged it, to be honest. Yeah. Let's be honest. They should have rigged it.
It's just so monumental. Like,
just rig it for that one.
Yeah. And, you know, I know how we both feel about it, but either way, I still think it was a very important
easily
film,
the best film here. Yeah. No doubt. Like, it should have won.
Yeah.
Like, without a question.
One day I'll finish Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop. And one day I'll watch Joseph the Tiger.
You're not going to think it's better than Ava, and you're not going to find Jose better than Ava. Jose might join the big three melodrama films we don't like. So
can we just make like a whole pod devoted to anime we hate, and then we like do it like blog style where we try to like really explain what about them?
Do we write it out ahead of time and then we just read it off of our thing?
And we just do a live dramatic reading of what we wrote. Kind of like an intervention for ourselves.
I love that. You know what would be funny? We both write out blog posts of why we don't like it and the other person reads it.
That's it. Let us know if you want to see that.
Let us know if you want us to release the hate in our heart.
Because sometimes it does take me a while to like articulate like what it is about something I didn't like. Because sometimes it's just sort of like an instinctual, like, you know, you just didn't like it. It's a reactionary
visceral.
thing. Yeah.
It's in my heart.
Yeah, and then like being able to sit down and actually think about it and organize your thoughts and write it. Like, okay, now it's literally, you know, pancreas and the girl and the lack of development, and you know, I'm not going to get into it, but the montage, and,
Everything.
everything. All right, so that's best film, which is okay. Best comedy, Komi-san. I only watched the first episode, so all I can say is best first episode. Or
Yeah,
close to
I mean,
best.
like, I'm in the same boat. I think Dragon Maid would probably be the best pick here. But I like the first episode of Komi-san. I think it was cute, and I think the reaction faces are funny, so it's probably a fitting winner. But yeah,
I did hear good things about Heaven's Design Team. I don't know.
I mean, I've never heard anything about it, but the fact that it's here, it means it did something right, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think Odd Taxi was a comedy.
I don't think it's a comedy, except you count it's a dark comedy if you consider the Gotcha Game episode a comedy.
Yeah, I mean, that was hilarious. Dragon Maid S is funny, but I don't know. I think of it more as like a heartwarming slice of life with moments of comedy. But I think that's what we said in our reaction. So
Yeah.
I'm good with this.
I'm fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Best fantasy.
Okay.
Fight me. Let's go.
Okay. I'm just saying. No, I'm not fighting you. I'm fighting with you. Or maybe against you. I don't know. Okay.
Let's go.
You know, Mushoku Tensei feelings out there. You know, I like it. Don't like some parts, whatever. Mushoku Tensei really should have won this year. I barely heard anything about Slime Season 2. I don't think many people considered it at all. I think it's wild that Mushoku Tensei did not win for this, especially in like a popularity contest. Like, I think it's wild. Mushoku Tensei should have won.
Guys, I think we need to cancel Shaw. I'm going to put out the application for a new co-host starting today, so just fill it out. No, I'm kidding. So, yeah, I definitely agree with, I really enjoyed Slime Season 2, but in terms of, like, impact for a fantasy show this year, I think, and I'm not counting Ranking of Kings, sorry, and for the reasons I stated before.
Yeah, same here.
But I would give it to Mushoku Tensei in that regard for, like, how much it kind of did in terms of fantasy.
This is just one of those things.
And even popularity, like you said, because it was really popular.
I just think it's really weird because, like, I just think it's really odd that it didn't win. Like, I feel like it had the votes. I feel like it had the backing. It has some critical acclaim, at least production wise. And like some of the writing is praised. Like some of the characters are good as they've seen. Like,
but maybe it was like kind of people didn't want to actually endorse it. Maybe
but then they have like Shield Hero won in the years before in categories. If Shield Hero can win,
isn't Mushoku Tensei technically more like problematic than problematic than Shield Hero?
Because people were saying like stuff with Shield Hero, which I didn't agree with, that it's like pro-slavery and shit, which like I don't agree with. But
you know what it could have also been? Maybe more people were watching Slime this year because Slime was on Crunchyroll while Mushoku Tensei was on Funimation.
That might be it too. But I don't know. I just think it's wild it didn't win. Like, I just think it's really weird it didn't win. I think it probably should have won because, as we said, the thing about Ranking of Kings, it's still airing, so it invalidates it in our rules. But
well, here's the other thing. It is Mushoku Tensei Core 1.
Which is weird. Why didn't they nominate all of it?
Because the Core 1, the thing is, I really enjoy the potential of what Core 1 could be, you know? But, like, it ended at a point where it was, like, nothing really, like, I can't say nothing crazy happened. Like, there was some crazy stuff that happened, but it was still, like, left at there's just still more to come. And that's where the excitement was mostly coming from.
True. I just think it's so wild because with all my reservations against it and not even being, like, a huge fan, I still think it's just weird that, like, I feel like that part of the community was very much present, and I feel like they weren't really represented here when I normally thought they would be, at least in terms of a popular vote. That's what I'm hung up on. I'm like, that's just so weird.
Well, in terms of plot too, like in terms of plot, if I'm going from the angle of trying to understand, like, you know, Core 1 not having all those crazy high points, season 2 of Slime this year actually had all the payoff. Like a lot of the stuff like went down in the season of Slime. Kind of got like a little dark, but yeah, kind of a lot of stuff happened.
That makes sense. That's fair. And I And I never finished Slime, so like I don't know the quality of it. I just am trying to base it off of what I've heard people talk about for the popularity vote. And I just feel like I heard about Mushoku Tensei nonstop.
I don't think you'll love Slime, but I don't think you'll hate it. So you'll probably would think of Slime like a 6, maybe.
5. I think I liked what I saw of season 1. I just didn't feel compelled to finish it. But like I liked Rimuru enough. He was kind of funny. But yeah, it's just kind of a shrug, you know?
Slime season 2 is more of a, feels more like in line with a power fantasy, sort of.
Okay.
Because like it's still like kind of wholesome and he's still trying to build like a, you know, like a utopia essentially for everybody.
I'm just salty he has a human form and isn't still a slime. I liked when he was a slime.
Yeah, no. It's you know, it eventually has to go this way.
But I like the slime. It's cute.
I mean, he still does both. He still
Okay. Get you a man who can do both.
Yeah. No, but I definitely agree with you. I feel like Mushoku Tensei probably did deserve the what is the right word? We were just saying it. Like
recognition?
Recognition. I keep saying representation. Recognition.
Yeah.
For that side of the fan base. So, you know, if it doesn't get Anime of the Year, at least it could have had Best Fantasy.
Who would have thought that, you know, a couple pods from now, I would be like, where is the Mushoku Tensei love?
It's working, guys. It's working.
Is it character development or undevelopment? What is it?
Character progression.
This is my villain arc? Maybe my villain arc.
Corruption arc.
Corruption arc. I love it.
Guys, I planted a seed. It is paying off.
Speaking of seeds that did not pay off, imagine a world where we got a good Promised Neverland season 2. We could have seen it win here. That's in another world line, and we will not experience it ever because we can't have good things.
Well, actually, we can. So if we go the Steins Gate approach, right, there is another... Okay.
The beta line will help us.
Yeah. We have to just go there and like it'll solve everything. Best action. Oh, okay. Yeah. Can I just move on?
Yeah, I'm fair. I'm down with this.
I mean, I agree with it. Like, I think it was really good. It's more of just, I don't know.
Here's the question though. Here's where it comes down to it. Because now we have a bunch of like big 3 popular bosses that could be fighting. Would you rather this over Demon Slayer or Attack on Titan for action?
So here it is. This is the Mugen Train arc. So that's the TV show, which I skipped. I watched the movie. Because that's just, to me, it was like a rehash. I definitely think if it's between these 3, like I definitely loved like the storytelling and what Attack on Titan final season was doing. But in terms of action, I wasn't like hyped about everything that was going on. I thought it was way more impressive in Jujutsu Kaisen Core 2. If we're talking about purely action. So I picked Jujutsu Kaisen.
If I'm picking Jujutsu Kaisen action over Demon Slayer action any day.
Oh, like any day. Well, would that include the movie too, if it was the movie?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, okay, I see people like, I like the Demon Slayer action, but like, I don't see anything as interesting as like that, what am I thinking? Yuji Toto clapping fight, or even that, that fight at the end of the season with, Nobara and Yuji, where she's doing the cool like nail in her arm thing, and that like shows up in the monster's arm. Like I haven't seen anything that cool in Demon Slayer, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely.
A lot more inventive and creative.
I mean, that last fight, I think it was the last fight in Demon Slayer where
that was cool.
Where they were fighting the guy with the mouth on his back or something. Who was fighting?
Is this in the current season or in the Mugen Train?
No, sorry, Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh yeah, that dude. I think, yeah, that's where it would. Yeah,
he reminded me of a JoJo character, so it was very interesting.
It does all come back to JoJo.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I'd pick this. I just I'm just desensitized to seeing Jujutsu Kaisen win things, so I'm like,
that's how I feel about Demon Slayer. So it's like lesser of 2 evils.
Yeah, I get you. Best drama. All right. To Your Eternity. Did you watch this one?
I didn't watch it past episode 1.
I stopped at like episode 16. I don't know. I was pretty.
So you watched most of it?
Most of it, but I didn't want to. It was kind of begrudgingly because after like one specific part, it's like, this is just the same shit over and over. It just keeps hurting me.
So was it good though? That's the question.
I feel like it was interesting, but after a while, I was just like, I just feel like I just don't know where it's going, and I don't know if it's gonna keep that level of interest. Yeah, I feel that. I mean, I didn't watch it past episode 1, but I didn't really hear about it much after then.
So maybe I'll check it out.
I mean,
but
like, I'm not huge on 86, but I would say like 86 was doing more grander stuff in terms of drama.
okay. But we both
Or
agree
even-
it should have been Odd Taxi, or in your case, Fruits Basket, right?
Yeah, either Fruits Basket or Odd Taxi I would have preferred.
Yeah.
Because I felt like they were doing more I don't know, more important stuff.
Yeah,
I think I
Fear
did pick
Attorneys-
fruit. I think I did pick Fruits Basket, and you picked Odd Taxi, right?
Yeah, I picked Odd Taxi because I don't think it's a comedy, so I'm like, it got to go here.
Yeah. So definitely out of those three, but definitely I would have been more because Fruits Basket final season was very, very dramatic. So
Oh no, it's like I don't
It's
know
very-
what happened.
it's very, very dramatic, actually. Very, very toxic people. So
Love it. Amethyst brought up Blue Period. That probably would have been a good pick too. Yeah, you know, the Snub Awards. But
all right.
yeah,
Sorry.
what? No, I was just going to be like shrug again. I just don't know if this is one of those cases where I'm like, how did this win in a popularity vote? That's where I come from.
Well, this comes to me. This is more like I have the how did this win, but it's not in a popularity vote. It's more like I know how this won because of the popularity vote. That's how I see it.
But I don't
Because,
think that
like-
many people were watching this. That's why I was like,
Well,
question
I
mark.
feel like that many people on our side of any Twitter probably weren't, right? That's what we're
Mhm.
thinking. That we see on our timeline that are talking
True.
about. But if you see Crunchyroll comments, a ton of people were watching this.
I guess so, yeah. And it was on Crunchyroll, but I guess this is also probably a very heavy pick. I don't know. I see it as such a shrug, but whatever. I haven't.
To me,
finished
it's
it,
like
so
to
I
me,
don't
it's
know.
like equivalent to Jujutsu Kaisen winning. And I'm not throwing shade on the action. We just discussed the action being good, but sort of like the more well-known popular anime.
I wasn't sure if this was more well known than other ones, but as you said, I only see my perspective. So
Yeah. Yeah.
good point.
All right, so let's go
Moving
on
on.
to Best Romance. Horimiya won. I never finished this, so. But what we were saying in our reaction to the nominees, we were saying that Beastar season 2 wasn't really a romance, and then
Yeah.
Fruits Basket the final season, yeah, it kind of was, yeah. So, and then Komi, but I didn't watch much more of it, so
Yeah, these are all like some of these are just like explicitly not romance, where they're like not romance focused, you know?
it's really this wins by actually being a romance. And I know that a lot of people had issues with the adaptation, but again, I can't comment on it. I didn't finish it, and most of the issues are really just pacing. So
Yeah. They also cut his hair. So it kind of begs the question, why even continue the series after that point, you know?
yeah, that's where I dropped it. So
Yeah.
you know.
yeah. So I'm glad you have the priorities straight. Yeah, wait, this is a good point. Actually, Dinah Zenon snubbed. Dinah Zenon would have been a really good pick for this.
You know, like Dinah Zenon was so like low key, like it was a very low key sort of show in terms of its romance and other elements that it presented. But when I think back to how the main couple ended up at the end, it was really cute. It was like,
Yeah.
you know what, that was a good romance. It was healthy. It was good.
It was
Like-
cute. It was subdued. It was there, but it was very there, you know?
Yeah. But you know what? Doesn't fit into the romance category. It's more of a tokusatsu.
They
Actually,
also
did I get
could
that
have
right?
included our senpai
Tokusatsu.
show, but no, we get nothing.
Oh, that's right. Well, Senpai felt more like it leaned towards more comedy.
But they did have the other couple as kind of like a nice, you know.
But I guess like when you compare, like I guess this show had like 3 couples, so it made it feel like more romancy. Plus, Fruits Basket final season had like, I don't know, 4 or 5 couples.
I think like Fruits Basket, you know, probably should have won just based
But-
on like how I see people talk about Fruits Basket nonstop. It probably should have been Fruits Basket, but whatever.
Yeah. Amethyst weighs in saying, as a huge romance fan, this is the right pick. Fruits Basket would have been good too, though. Yeah, I'm fine with those two. I stand by those two because again, Beastars did not have a lot of
Beastars was explicitly the non-romance season.
Yeah.
Like season 1 was more romance focused. This was like
Definitely.
him actively avoiding his romantic interest.
Exactly. Just like, nope, I don't got time for you. I got other things to do.
Yeah, and that's how I feel. It's like I like the romance in Beastars, but that really wasn't the focus.
wasn't.
So it's
It
so
wasn't.
odd.
It's like they just took the whole show overall and were like, all right, Beastars, season 1 and 2.
We have too
'Cause-
many in drama. Let's just throw it in romance because like
'Cause-
kind of.
It is weird that they didn't specify here season 1 or season 2. They've been doing it for every other category.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
All right.
They really went downhill this year when they think about it. Like in terms of like just focus and like everything. I guess we're on best fight scene.
Yeah, I was just gonna.
Oh no, you did good.
All right, so
my best friends.
We
best
agreed
friend
with this.
Bestie fight. Woo. Yeah.
This was just. I think I even voted for this one, so I can't even be
Me
mad.
too.
Yeah.
Sinris really convinced me with their breakdown of it.
You know, I would say I totally understood all of this before even Sinris said it, but that would be a lie. Sinris
I totally forgot about it until Sinris explained it.
I mean, I already knew I liked it because I'm already biased towards Toto being awesome. He was a really enjoyable part of the show once he was introduced. But yeah, then he explained it, and I was like, "Yep, that's exactly you articulated exactly why it's so good."
What you got to do too. My best friend.
Is it? See,
the other
this
hand,
is like I gotta go this way. There you go.
Yeah, and then we can screenshot it. My hand is gone.
Wait, shouldn't it be this way? No, it's this way. Okay.
I think they're both that way. Yeah, my hand is going into the awards background.
You've just been like ghosting out this whole stream.
I like it though.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're just glitching out.
I love it.
She's fading into the beta timeline. So, guys,
I'm trying to get to the timeline with the good Promise Neverland.
It's because it's because she tried to defend Mushoku Tensei, so the stream is trying to cancel her. Guys, I will be needing a new co-host soon. This is not a joke. This is a serious matter. Please reach out to me after this.
Yeah, this is a real point. Sinris, new co-host, but don't tell them that.
All right, so let's go on to best antagonist. So I don't want to talk about this.
In a weird way, the Weebies and the Crunchyroll Awards kind of had the same best antagonist pick because we both chose essentially the Attack on Titan fan base.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And I it's my fault that this happened. My fault.
You did this. You started this story.
I did.
My favorite quote of all time.
To me, 1 week ago.
To you 1 week ago when you thought that.
I had like a mini argument with Shaw about this because like I don't know, like people are still kind of going on and on about the antagonist versus protagonist thing, but in the end, Shaw's right.
Would you say I antagonized you in the fight? I'm sorry.
You did. No, but I thought you were right from the beginning. I always thought Aaron was a protagonist, but I was trying to see if like that was like set in stone or if there could be another way to see it, but I guess that's just how it is.
You had a fair point though. I think a lot of the discourse can be pretty annoying, as is Attack on Titan fan base discourse. So yeah, I mean, you're pretty valid though, because I know what you're talking about. I think it's just tough when it's really tough when it's like certain specific roles, but it's different. It's tough.
Yeah, I think it just makes it more clear cut if you just be like, anti-hero villain, as opposed to start messing with protagonist, antagonist, because then you're dealing with something else.
I would like anti-hero and anti-villain to be roles in. I mean, vocabulary added to Twitter, but maybe not this year.
Well, also to add, a main character isn't always a protagonist. You can have a protagonist that isn't a main character.
Yeah, because main character, because it's like
you normally
some people
do associate
say main character to mean protagonist, but sometimes it's like a bit different.
Yeah, but like if you go by the terms, they basically say there's been like stories where someone else is the protagonist while there's like another main character as in focus character, so or the primary character. So
Angst, I'm laughing at that reference. It's so funny. Someone tweeted out like completely joking that like heroes, optimism, brightness, positivity, trust, morality, friendship, bonds are concepts I absolutely hate. I prefer more mature concepts like anti-heroes, protagonists who are also antagonists, genocide, depression, sadness, lonely, betrayal.
Can we just have a pod on this? Let's just explain all the terms.
With a definition where we look it up.
I think so. I want to have it. You know what? I want to have this podcast. I don't care what you guys want.
Also,
I want
shout out to Toei getting snubbed. I think Toei should have won.
I don't know. Attack on Titan fan base, man.
Attack on Titan fan base.
No, Toei did not get snubbed. We gave it to them, but then we were like, nah, you know what? We can't.
Let's give it to an anime character.
Promote negative behavior,
Yeah.
Toxic behavior. All right. Best protagonist. Unless we have anything else to say on Aaron being an antagonist. We should move on. Okay. I was actually happy about this one. So
love that.
I have nothing to say. I'm good with this.
Love that for us.
This made me happy. I was like, okay. Some
Very
recognition. Happy. Great protagonist.
Good pick. Good win.
Protagonist and main character.
We did good. Best
character design from Jujutsu Kaisen. What did we pick? We picked Wonder Egg for ourselves?
We picked Beastars because the character design is the story for not Beastars. What did I say?
Odd Taxi. You're thinking furries, man.
Yeah, it's they went free. Yeah, we said Odd Taxi, but Wonder Egg would have also been a good pick.
I think we also said Skate. Oh no, but
Yeah,
we said
Skate.
overall Odd Taxi. Yeah.
Yeah. Jujutsu Kaisen, as someone who really does love Gojo's design, they really shouldn't win just for Gojo. I feel like this is like a Gojo thing.
Yeah, I think so because
Money
I don't really
gone wrong.
I don't really think of because when they say best character design, I don't know what to think of from here besides the panda and Gojo.
Panda's good. Lives up to the name. Like it's a panda. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I don't think of any other designs besides Gojo's.
Yeah, and it's a very simple design.
Yeah. So I think this is a no for me.
Yeah, it's a no for me, dog. Yeah. So that's that. So I don't know. That's also why I think people were feeling like, all right, Jujutsu Kaisen Awards
Yeah, that's where I was getting a bit burnt out. I'm like,
might have not been deserved.
No.
Best director.
I'm down with this. Okay.
Didn't we say on our nominee stream that like we weren't sure if what Odd Taxi was good for was the directing, like it was more so the writing?
Yeah, but then we also, I think Sinris also was saying that, that episode 13 sequence with the money taxi, that was really well directed. So I think that's valid as a good director pick. But I think we wanted Sunny Boy for this.
I think so. Didn't I say Nomad though?
Nomad 2 would have been a good pick.
I think between Nomad and Sunny Boy, I would have gone for those. But you know what? More Odd Taxi love. I'm not against it. So
I am
I'm
biased,
cool
so I will take the Odd Taxi one.
We gave it Anime of the Year, guys, for a reason. So
yeah.
All right. So definitely all the love. Best score.
So
I was kind of disappointed at this.
Okay, I have a hot take within me. I feel like you know how people always complain about Sawano and how like all of his stuff sounds samey.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel about Yuki Kajira. Like I feel like a lot of her stuff is kind of samey. Like, it's all fun and games. You hear the Madoka OST, you hear that. You hear the Fate OST, you hear the Kara no Kyokai OST. Like I've been there. I'm ready to move on.
Yeah, like I don't really have too much of an opinion because I don't think I've ever singled out her OST. I'm pretty sure I've heard it countless times, but I've never like kind of pointed out like in my head that this is this person. So for me, it's more of like I'm just seeing Demon Slayer again. So my take is more basic of why I wasn't happy about this. Plus, I don't remember and maybe that's why I don't remember the score for it like standing out that much for it. So
they didn't even have like the one big OST scene like they did in Demon Slayer season 1 with that episode 19 insert song. Yeah. So they didn't even have that. I think it's very undeserving. Like I don't think it should be here.
I was all for Nomad because
Nomad.
Or even Sunny Boy, but it didn't make it on here. But I can
Sunny
see
Boy should have been there.
Why, I guess.
Sunny Boy, Nomad, or Odd Taxi would have definitely won for me. Odd Taxi has this really funky, like, Odd Taxi main theme that's just so perfect for it. And, I mean, Vivi, I'm not, like, super big on it, but at least it has songs that are relevant, like, idol singing songs. So, like, I don't know. I just don't think Demon Slayer should have been here for this award at all, and I don't think it's deserving.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Vivi... I mean, DV was interesting. Did we say Wonder Egg had a good
I honestly don't even remember it. I don't remember it at all. But it's been a while.
So that's that. Let's go into... I'm just going to fly through Best Girl and Best Boy. Best Girl, Nobara.
Okay, why not?
I'm all right with it.
I'm cool with it.
More Jujutsu Kaisen love.
Yeah.
Best Boy, Boji.
Good pick. Besides our
gripes with the show not being finished, I can't disagree with it. So yeah, it's good. And like then best. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. We can move on.
I'm just jumping through.
So I had to like jump through hoops on my work laptop to actually find this ending because I've heard the song before. I finally saw the visuals for it, and it's like really boring, like really like not like really subpar.
I definitely take your word for it because you're a
snob.
No, I did not say that.
An
ending an OP connoisseur.
Yeah, this is another one. This is probably the best example I can think of where this was only nominated because it's popular. I don't even think Demon Slayer fans would have this as like a favorite ending. I think they just nominated it because of that. And this is where you get to see how like abused the popularity vote is, because I don't think anyone, well, I'm speaking very broadly, but I think if you go through and watch all of these endings, I think the average person would not have this as their favorite.
Yeah.
That's just, I like the song by Lisa, but like the visuals are really bad. And I know, not really bad, they're just really bland. And I know that some people just really don't give a shit about visuals, but like even with the song, it's like probably not the best song here. So.
Yeah, I don't think I actually watched the ending sequence for it, but I'm just more surprised at how Beastars didn't win.
Well, because I think that's where the popular vote gets super abused. Like, I think it's just so like obvious. Okay, Demon Slayer's here. We're gonna vote for it without watching it. And the thing for me is like opening and ending. Yeah, you're gonna have a bias towards shows you've already seen where it's incorporated. But like, you can pretty much judge these on their own. Like, you don't need to watch the whole series to see it and appreciate it. So. Yeah. I think this is probably the worst winner of the bunch.
I'm even surprised that Attack on Titan, didn't get it because that's popular. That would fit, and it was a good ending.
I'm so surprised that didn't win. Yeah.
Yeah. So, oh well.
Very bad.
Starting to see the fatigue here.
Yeah.
Best opening sequence.
Well, we do. So here's the Attack on Titan win.
There we go.
I'm definitely I'm okay with this because I was a My Word Day oneer, but it was definitely not my pick from here, I think.
I definitely like the ending better.
Me too.
I think the ED.
I think me too. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, I like them both kind of equally, but I was fine with it. Any of these openings were kind of a good pick. I think I liked some more than others, but like this is fine.
I definitely would have gone for either Vivid Vice or the Odd Taxi OP now that I watched the first take.
Yeah, isn't it so good?
It's really, really good.
Also, I unfortunately, my senpai annoying complaining. Now that I have seen Link Click, the Link Click opening definitely should have been here. Link Click opening banger. Absolutely.
More Dragon Maid S, actually. It was really good.
Yeah, that one was kind of good.
Would they include Link Click?
I don't know. Does it? I think it. I don't know.
Yeah, because now that anime is expanding to like other countries, it's like what would they include now? Like, should Arcane be here?
I don't think Arcane's an anime. I think it's just a Western animation thing. But I get your point, like similar rules. But I think Arcane is pretty clear-cut Western animation, like similar vein to Avatar and like Spider-Verse.
Yeah, like Link Click is Chinese animation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, go ahead.
No, that was So I see your point though, where it's like, if it's something appreciated by the anime fan, should it be here? I agree with you that it should not. I think that's what you're saying. But like, I see your point.
Yeah.
This is a good point that Mark Hester said. You can't prevent super popular series to receive votes even when it's not the best. You can just avoid giving it the nomination, and I agree with that completely because I think I have more of a beef with them nominating something like Demon Slayer's ending for best ending over giving it the award. Mm-hmm. Or like Jujutsu Kaisen character designs, like just don't nominate them.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's inevitable for them to get nominated. So, because again, they are trying to give recognition to the largest kind of part of the fan base. Because think about if we get this much of an outcry now from the very vocal, and I'm going to say minority, because that's what it is. Imagine the outcry if they didn't, kind of feed into the actual majority. Because then they'd just be like, what is this anime? I've never heard of this. Why is this here?
Yeah.
So. Best animation winner, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba train arc, Mugen train arc. Sorry, best animation winner. I mean, I would have given it to either Dragon Maid, even Mushoku Tensei.
Cancel time. Cancel him. No.
Yeah. Okay. I'm talking about a visual aspect of it, Shaw. I wasn't calling it best fantasy.
You're like, excuse me. Okay. That was so funny. Yeah. I mean, okay. Am I allowed to drop another hot take? Am I allowed to do it?
Chat, weigh in if you want to unleash Shaw.
I know we got a little delay. Is it hot take time?
I think you're on probation. No, I'm kidding. Go for it.
I was like, I need someone. Okay, I think so. First off, I think they essentially just like made the Mugen Train movie into a TV series. So
yes.
So it's fair to say they just kind of copy pasted it and cut it up into 7 episodes?
Yes, and added in like an extra episode or two to kind of finesse the transition from the previous arc into the next arc.
Okay, I'm going to say I don't give a shit. Like, I don't give a shit. Maid Dragoness's animation is better than the Mugen Train movie animation. I don't care.
I don't think that was up for debate.
So it's not that much of a hot take, but it felt like one.
I mean, I feel like it's a hot take for, Demon Slayer actually winning this and maybe the majority thinking that. I don't know. Like, I just don't like when they cut up like a whole movie and literally that just, I guess like if we were the Japanese audience, they got the movie a year ago.
Yeah.
And so like now it's sort of like a refresh in the TV series since it's a year later that this aired. But for us that just got the movie, it's like literally right in the fall. It's, kind of cut up again and kind of being reserved. But either way, I don't know. I still wouldn't have voted for it because Dragon Maid really just had really good animation, really good peaks.
I think this is also another case where we're conflating like 3D modeling and composition into animation. Like maybe I think it does have good to above average animation, but like I'm talking about Demon Slayer, but like a lot of it is like I got to go back and double check because it's kind of like the UFO table.
Oh no, you're right. Especially in the scene in the movie. Again, I didn't watch the TV animated version, but I don't think it's that different. When they're on the train, well, they're on the train the whole time, but like towards the end, they're fighting one of the monsters, like that's a giant like goop or like slime or whatever it is, and it's just all 3D.
Yeah, and that's like also like
or CGI
impressive, but it's like one of those things where it's like if we break down what like the actual animation is, I don't know how it would hold up. I got to refresh. Maybe I'll watch the TV series for it. I don't know. I'm not going to do it. But I think like if you just look at like animation, I think Maid Dragon has it or Mushoku Tensei. That's another good pick.
Well, okay, the CGI for it specifically looked a little jarring, looked a little like not completely, but it didn't look like it. You could definitely point it out that, they tried to make it fit into the world, but it's also like, oh, no, it's very clearly CGI. So,
yeah,
but there's been worse examples, but I don't know about the TV series, but Maid Dragon was all like seamless.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm used to this disappointment, but it is just kind of like another eye roll situation.
Cause it just feels like, you know what it is? It just feels like it's the easy pick.
Yeah.
It just feels like the given. Okay, Demon Slayer, Ufotable, great animation, boom, done.
Like if we did a poll for everyone who voted for Demon Slayer, I would want to ask them, how many of the other picks have you seen?
Yeah, we gotta like bring in Sakuga fans and just sit down with them and ask them like, honestly, would you pick this or would you pick this and why? And then
we should do that. If anyone's interested in us doing like a full-fledged animation one, we should reach out to like Sakuga Boro authors and be like, what is your pick for best animation and why?
Yeah, like we want a fair, kind of an assessment of it rather than us just being like, oh, it shouldn't be Demon Slayer. So we're down for that. And then finally, anime of the year, which is Attack on Titan, final season, part 1. Saw this coming a mile away.
It's the only beef I have with this is Attack on Titan
didn't end. It didn't.
No,
like
this
ended halfway.
Well, my beef is the other part of the season, the split core, is airing now. So like it's going to get more votes because it is also currently.
Oh, that's a good point. The hype.
Yeah. That's the only beef I have. I do genuinely like the content from the series. I think it's worth praising with anime of the year, but I have beef with like the time in which it overlaps with voting. That's my beef.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely fine with it winning. But I think you bring up a very, very valid point. But either way, it would have been that or Odd Taxi. And, I picked Odd Taxi. But if not, it would have been Final Season for me because Final Season was really, really good, actually.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Even with the studio change, they managed to put together something good.
Yeah. It is impressive that they did it on such a short turnaround time.
And we know how they did it, and we're not endorsing it.
Yeah, exactly.
We see you.
We see you, Mappa.
All right, and that's kind of it. So how would we rank this then? After we saw everything, I definitely think it's not as good as last year's.
Yeah, I think last year is my favorite. I think I'm opening up a notes app. I'm opening up notes. I'm writing.
Do you want to share your screen or you want me to?
No, we could just say them out loud.
Okay,
this is just so I can process things. Okay. 2020. So I think last year, which I think is 2020 and 2017, definitely the best 2 years of awards.
Last year was 2021.
Yeah, but Was it?
But for the 2020 anime.
Okay, so that's what they called it. 2021. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go back and look at the page you're on because I'm like, you mix it up with that. So 2021 and then the 2018, which covered 2017 anime. I think those were the 2 best years.
Yeah. Actually, was it? Hold on. 2017. I'm just gonna make sure here since I have it. 2018. 2018 was for the 2017 anime.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry, but was that the one you really liked? Yeah.
I was talking about.
Yeah, it was that one.
Yeah, 2021 was the one I really liked. And then 2020 is probably 3rd, maybe.
I think so. Yeah.
2020, and then 2019. I don't know. I'm checking. It's too much. It's too much pressure. Let me see. Okay, 2019. Yeah, 2019 was good, I think.
Yeah. Because that was the Crybaby year.
Yeah, that was a Crybaby, which is ironic because I was like, I don't like this year of anime that much, but I think they did okay with the awards. Okay,
yeah, so we're not judging on presentation. We're just judging on the winners. Let's see.
And I guess this year's winner, and then I guess 2017 for the worst. Okay, I have my list. Okay. Do you want me to go or?
Go for it.
I'll just go quick. Okay. So I'm going to give last year as the best Crunchyroll Awards so far. So it's 2021.
Mm-hmm.
They had a good variety, good picks. I liked it. Really the only fault is something that's not even against Jujutsu Kaisen. It's just the rules were dumb. So that's Crunchyroll's fault, not Jujutsu Kaisen's fault.
Yeah.
Then I'm giving it to 2018 with the Made in Abyss win. Had a lot of good categories. They added stuff just to obviously give Land of the Lustrous an award, so I respect it. They had some good picks, even though it was the My Hero Academia Awards. Then I'm going to give it to 2020. 2020, I think? Yeah.
This had Kaguya as best couple.
Yeah.
Kaguya and Shiogane. Tanjiro as best boy. Isabella as best antagonist.
Best comedy.
Kaguya.
Best fantasy. Best director. Best animation.
Mob Psycho 100.
Best animation, Mob Psycho. You got to give it for that. Best opening. Best drama, Vinland Saga. So those were good. That's a lot of good ones. They give the Industry Icon Award to Wit, which is bad, but like whatever.
Yeah.
And then
that's just one thing out of everything else.
One slight. And then 2019, I think was still good. That was Devilman Crybaby is actually kind of a cool pick. As we determined, they apparently still managed to give the best movie a win because they avoided the ones me and Onimaru didn't like.
Yeah, exactly. Something that can't offend us. We're good with.
Yeah, I am giving this one the edge. I don't know. This one's kind of tied with this year's, I think.
I should write this down.
2019 kind of is on this level where like...
Let's see. Notes.
Yeah, okay, I'm changing my mind. I'm putting this year's above 2019.
Whoa.
I'm changing my mind. 2022 and then 2019. Because this one's kind of bad. This one is good, but also bad.
You thought 2019 was bad?
Well, kind of. Some of this stuff is bad. I just get so salty at seeing the Darling in the Franxx opening. I don't know what it is. Every time I see that, I'm just like, I hate that so much. It just bothers me so much for no reason.
I mean, there's nothing really like that stand out this year or so.
Wait, what am I more pissed off at? Darling in the Franxx opening or Kimetsu no Yaiba ending? That'll be the determining factor.
Gotcha.
I think I'm still giving it to 2022 over it just because I liked more anime in 2021 than 2018.
Yeah, I'm gonna see.
Yeah, I think I'm doing that.
2018, 2020. 2018 was the Made in Abyss year. 2019, and then finally 2017. Okay, great. All right, so we have what? 6 years in total? 6 years?
That's actually a lot to rank.
All right, I think I already have my ranking.
Okay, what's yours?
So bottom is 2017 because I definitely think improved since there.
Mhm.
Didn't have too many issues with the awards. Just I think they've just improved categories wise and whatever. Above that is 2019. Right, like so the fourth one down, ranked fourth is 2022 because I think 2020 is above it. 2021 is above that at second, and I still prefer the anime in 2018. But it was close to 2021 because I did feel like, even though I wasn't happy with some of the picks last year, such as the Jujutsu Kaisen win and stuff like that, it did feel like a good like celebration of anime. Like it felt like no one could really be mad. Like it was pretty good. Like it was a good kind of representation of the stuff we liked that year.
That's cool because we have essentially the same ranking. We just switch our top 1 and 2.
So yeah, I'm just more biased towards 2018. So
that does make sense as a My Hero Academia fan.
No, it's actually really more for Made in Abyss, Girls Last Tour, and Land of the Lustrous, and Your Name.
Oh, it is the Your Name. That makes sense.
Yeah, but it is really because of Made in Abyss, Girls Last Tour, and Land. Because I watched all 3 of those at the same time, so
yeah,
it's really good.
I do think Made in Abyss is still the best anime of the year winner.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So, and you know, My Hero Academia was at its peak anime wise, so it's good year.
Yeah, it is tough between last year and 2018.
Yeah, it's a close pick. But I think like anime of the year, just like that category, just carries a lot of weight because that's like that's the one you're waiting for. So if you're like a little salty about that one, it's like, how can you be fully happy? You know?
Yeah.
So
that's more than valid because I think that's the only real beef I have with 2021 is the anime of the year winner. All the other ones seem like pretty cool picks.
Yeah.
Whereas 2018, I might have a few more disagreements with the other picks, but anime of the year is so clear as like a good pick. So
yeah, exactly. All right, I think that's all we got though. Yeah.
Good analysis.
Yeah. We broke it down. We've determined the Crunchyroll, you know, it's only been improving, I think. They're getting better with it. It is a little sad that they don't have like an award show. I don't know. Maybe they will have an award show again next year. Maybe it was just this year. They didn't really say much about it. Yeah. So we'll see where that's at next year. Definitely if they want to hire us to kind of just, you know, host the awards, kind of put something together, very low effort, you know, we can do that.
We can totally do the cringe. Game. We're just weebs. We can do cringe.
We can totally do that. Yeah. I mean, our fans seem to love it. We're just gonna keep doing it. So
yeah.
But besides that, you know, drop us a comment. Let us know if you like the episode. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're almost there. We're almost close to 1,000. You know, almost close to those cringy Patreon requests that we're gonna have to force ourselves to do.
Yo, if you guys have some cringy Patreon requests, we are there. We're ready for it.
We're ready.
I got to give a shout out to the actual last anime awards. I think are coming out next week is the Our Anime Awards. And those will be the longest, possibly most comprehensive awards. I think they will be coming out Saturday. I forget what time. I will be in Canada, so I won't be there live, but might make a cameo at some point. So
yeah, that's actually a good transition to also say we will not have an episode. We will not go live next week because Shaw is going to not be here. She's going to be in Canada. So we will be back the week after. That's the game plan. But we'll definitely announce it on Twitter and stuff like that. Check out the Our Anime Awards. Actually, question on that. Is the Our Anime Awards, that's separate from Tokyo Podfathers, right?
Yeah. So this is from like made by the subreddit. So
gotcha. All right, cool. But it's mostly like a lot of you guys in Tokyo Podfathers are still involved with the Our Anime Awards or no?
So we are a bit like, so we changed the name. We're no longer like officially the Our Anime Podcast, but that's kind of been a long time coming because we weren't like, it's not like the official title really carried that much anyway. It just meant like a lot of times we'd pull guests from people who were on the subreddit, and we still essentially do that, just not with our title. And we also wanted to talk about more like non-anime topics to just be a bit more general. Still mostly anime, but like, you know, occasionally talk about The Sopranos, which you couldn't do on Our Anime, but you can do on our podcast.
Exactly. Or maybe coming soon, The Wire, you know.
Or The Wire, that would be fun.
On season 2, so.
Oh, you're gonna beat me. But yeah, so we might make a cameo on the Our Anime Awards to be determined, but I think there'll be some fun guests. But Our Anime Awards are cool for people who are frustrated with just the popularity aspect of the awards because they have community vote, which is essentially a popularity contest, but they also have a judge award, which is, you know, everyone in that category has to watch all of the nominees and form their opinion from that, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that is cool. C52G says our anime award is going to be the Mushoku Tensei Awards. So we'll see.
We'll see. Maybe that's where it'll finally get some recognition because it's not getting it anywhere else.
Yeah. Need some love, I guess. Anyways, guys, that's about it. We will catch you next time. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you don't agree with us or what we think, let us know in the comments. But at the end of the day, you can't really blame us because what do we know? We're just weebs. And I'm going to